State-aligned media named Fox News appeared to unreveal on live television last night following news that Donald Trump Department of Justice had reportedly met with convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell and granted her use immunity. This immunity meant to protect her from further prosecution depending on the information she provided appeared to have been part of a broader effort to shield Trump from deeper scrutiny regarding his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, with Trump clearly in damage control mode aimed mounting public question about his connection to Epstein, and with reports from the Wall Street Journal indicating Trump name appeared numerous times in the Epstein file. What did Fox News choose to focus on? Q. Jeff, propagandist, Sam Hannity, who pivoted hard. One thing is crystal clear. He declared Barack Obama was a terrible president. He abused his power. What Obama did with Russia 2016 makes Watergate look like jaywalking ticket. That's what Fox wants its viewer to concentrate on mega outrage and deflection. Note the alarming news that Trump may have extend immunity to known sex trafficker as part of a cover-up. Watch the segment for yourself. Play the clip.
One thing is crystal clear. Barack Obama was a terrible president and he abused his power. He fomented a culture of pious corruption inside the halls of our federal bureaucracy. To this day, I can all but assure you that the former deep state actors who carried out this plot to delegitimize a duly elected president, Donald Trump, still believe they did nothing wrong. They didn't care at all about the will of all of you, the American people. They believe their opinions mattered much more, and this information clearly is suggesting that they were willing to lie, manipulate, undermine a duly elected president. To them, using the almighty power of the U.S. government to subvert the will of the American people is what justified.
Then Hannity brings on his go-to guest, MAGA Republican Senator Tom Cotton. And what does Cotton do? He rattles off the usual string of mega buzzwords like a broken record. Collusion, Obama, Biden, Clinton, Brennan, Comey, Russia. It's all designated to distract, to redirect attention away from Trump's engagements with Epstein and toward vague conspiracy jargon. This is script they running on Fox. Deflect, distort, and down out the real story. Watch how it's play out. Here's the clip.
You know, for years, the Democrats screamed collusion falsely about Donald Trump and Russia. And as you say, there was collusion. Collusion between Obama and Biden and Clinton, Brennan, Comey, Clapper, to brush under the rug the judgments of these career intelligence officials that there's no evidence of collusion whatsoever. And then to put it out through surreptitious means to the American people as a way to undermine the legitimacy of Donald Trump's historic victory in 2016.
Then they rule out John Solomon, who jumps right into the distraction playbook. He says what was really need to investigate is what Special Counsel Jack Smith was up to when the FBI searched Mar-a-Lago. Of course, he conventionally skips over the part where that search uncovered Donald Trump hiding nuclear secrets, something that should have led to prosecution, if not for a corrupt and compromised Supreme Court. But Solomon's real implication that Jack Smith was actually looking for that on Obama, Brennan, Comey, Q, the usual mega code words. Collusion, Russia. Anything to steer the narrative away from Epstein and Trump involvement. Classic misdirection. Watch the clip.
I think the second piece that we're also going to watch for him, what was Jack Smith looking for? when he went and raided Donald Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago in 2022. What was that raid looking for? And does it have a connection all the way back to this period of 16 when we're submitting dirty dossiers to the Intelligence Committee, hijacking intelligence products, and lying to FISA courts and the American public? I think those are two big developments that I think we're going to learn more about in the next couple of weeks.
No one falling for the distraction. We see exactly what you are doing, and honestly, it's making things look even worse. What exactly is in those absent files about Donald Trump? We know he was informed back in May that his name appeared in them, and in response, he reportedly deployed over 1,000 FBI and DOJ agents to sift through the material. Whatever in there must be truly horrifying. Then you have Laura Ingraham and her panel of Fox regulars pushing the next deflection. Their spin that the real story is Obama and Russia, and that somehow Democrats only started talking about absent to distract from that. What are you even saying? This whole 2016 Obama Russia narrative is nonsense. Even Republican Senate Marco Rubio, who chaired the Senate Intelligence Committee, confirmed Russia interfered in the 2016 election. We all remember Trump on stage saying, "Russia, if you are listening, hack the emails of my opponent," and then it happened. To this, Trump says, submissive to Putin. Putin lately aired nude image of Melania on Russian TV. Trump says nothing. Putin claimed he and Trump discussed cultural exchange. And remember, Trump promised in April he had imposed secondary sanction on Russia in 2 weeks, which never happened. We saw how they treated Zelensky in the Oval Office. We saw the Trump administration drain critical Patriot missiles for Ukraine, then lie about sending them. And to this day, no sign of those weapons being sold to Germany to help defend Ukraine. But sure, Fox News want you to ignore all that, the focus on their made up by conspiracy web. Here's what Laura Ingraham guest had to say. Watch the clip.
It really is quite something for the Democrats to now try to resurrect Epstein when we find out that the core of their identity for 10 years has been that Trump is illegitimate as a politician and a president because of the Russia story, the core of their identity. It's all exposed.
Then Maria jumps in and blames Russia Gate. Yes, really. For why celebrities would not perform at Trump's big events. According to her, it's major issue that star want nothing to do with Trump, and it's supposedly all because of Russia hawks. What on earth is she even talking about? Just watch the clip.
You cannot underestimate what it did to a sitting president. The perception that it created around Donald Trump, the perception, made a lot of things happen. People were not going and taking jobs in his first administration. He wasn't able to get talented and the right people in the right jobs. You remember all those celebrities wouldn't sing at his, at big events, at the inauguration, Hollywood. I mean, it was ridiculous. Meanwhile, this is what we saw on the mainstream media all day long. Watch this.
Certainly say with confidence that there is significant evidence of collusion between the campaign and Russia.
And then things go from dangerous to just explains dumb. Fox brings on one of Trump's former speechwriter and airs a clip of Trump's and in Scotland claiming wind energy does not work and that Europe needs through abandoned windmills. The Fox source then seriously asks the guest, so should we stop using windmills? Is Trump right that if it is not sunny or windy one day, we just lose all solar and wind power? And the guest responds, yes, that's exactly the issue with solar and wind. Do these people ever understand how energy stores work? These might be some of the dumbest The most dangerous people on TV watch this clip.
Ruining your oceans. Stop the windmills.
Is he right?
He's 100% right. Look, just so people understand, wind and solar only work when there's wind and sun. We don't have technology to store the energy from wind and solar. So if you make yourself reliant on wind and solar, then if there's no sun and no wind, you get no energy. It's insane to be making your countries dependent on this. At first they went from being dependent on Russia for natural gas, now they're depending on wind and solar. Maybe they ought to do what he's doing and start, producing nuclear energy and drill, baby, drill. That would be smart.
I just think we're all coming around that way, and hopefully the West will follow. They have no choice.
And then Ghislaine Conway, yes, Miss Alternative Facts herself, shows up on the 5 and say with a straight face, so you are telling me you think the Epstein files are a bigger deal than Obama in 2016? Seriously, watch this clip.
I'm sure you wouldn't say that Andy McCarthy is some liberal media goon who wants to cover for them, saying this has always been a foolish scam.
You think the Epstein files is more relevant than this?
No,
you think the Epstein files is more relevant than what?
I think that it is not going well right now for President Trump, and they are trying to figure.
Coming up great. He just had Columbia admit to being anti-Semitic and fork over $250 million.
Well, let's see how it pans out with Harvard and someone who actually has a spine to stand up to what he's trying to do to academic freedom in this country.
Okay, they can still hate white people at Harvard. That's not going away.
So it's okay what they did to the Jews on campus.
I have literally never said that. And
you just said to somebody to stand up on the campus. You're assuming that Columbia backed down because of the money they paid to these Jewish students.
Columbia 100% capitulated to Donald Trump, and they will regret it.
I mean, seriously? Seriously? Who's actually buying this nonsense? Obviously not. You watch this clip. But is there really a mega base out there that hears Obama, Comey, Hillary Clinton, and just immediately responds like parallel dog? Is it some kind of programmed reflex? It's like that scene in Zoolander where they play the treasure song and he goes, "Kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia." Is that what's happening here? Just say a few keywords and suddenly it's okay. Donald, it's wild. And then there's Jessica Tell, literally the only pro-democracy voice left on Fox, trying to bring facts into the conversation. She says, according to new Fox News poll, Donald Trump approval rating on inflation is at 36%. And what does Greg Gutfeld say? Compared to what? Compared to what? She's like, that's not how polling works. And he just shrugs it off. Those polls are not real. And she's like, I am quoting your own network poll. Please, collapse and others. It's just ridiculous. Watch this clip.
Shannon already referenced today the new Fox News poll. I would also like to dive in there and look at the approval rating for Donald Trump on inflation. 36%.
Compared to what?
What?
Compared to what?
36%. It doesn't have to be.
No context.
Greg, that's not how polling works.
Oh, please explain to me how efficient and brilliant your polling is. You did a great job in 2024.
It's not my polling. Actually, the polling in 2024
God, you guys are wrong all the time. And by the way, all your polling is your own narratives.
What?
That's all polling is. You're polling your own narratives.
No, we're
not. You build up a fake story and then you go,
how is this? Hey, how do you think the president is handling it? According to you, who is a very wealthy person that's not paying attention to this.
This conversation,
throw the wealth card
I mean, that's a compliment. He's so wealthy.
I'm so wealthy. What neighborhood do you live in?
And finally, earlier in the day, Fox actually covered the meeting between the Donald Trump, DOJ and Ghislaine Maxwell Lair. And they reported it like it was just business as usual. Like there's been a development. She might be getting a pardon. As if that's totally normal. So first they gave her immunity and now a possible pardon. Really? Here's take a look at this clip.
What else did Maxwell's attorney say?
Well, he said a lot. We wish we could be in and hear what was said in the actual meeting. This meeting was a lot shorter than it was yesterday, but this was a two-day event. The highlight, though, it appears that her team wants a pardon. Watch.
We're going to take one day at a time. I know that's very cliche, but it's true because things are happening so quickly. We haven't spoken to the president or anybody about a pardon just yet. And you know, listen, the president this morning said he had the power to do so. We hope he exercises that power in the right and just way.